Welcome to our weekly wrap-up of news stories that made the headlines. I'm Nicole Cordopez, and this is the MB Rundown. ASEAN member states are set to sign a consensus which promotes and protects the rights of migrant workers during the 31st summit of the 50-year-old regional bloc in Manila and Clark, Pampanga next week. According to PCOO Assistant Secretary Chris Ablan, the signing will be one of the highlights of the ASEAN's 31st summit. He also said that the agreement is important as this will protect and promote the rights of all migrant workers in the region. The agreement will ensure that if domestic helpers and professionals want to go to work outside their home countries, their rights as migrant workers will be protected. These rights include the migrant workers' health care, protection, and security, among others. The ASEAN Consensus on the Protection and Promotion of the Rights of Migrant Workers was first endorsed by the ministers of the ASEAN Social-Cultural Community, or the ASCC Council, in Tagaytay last September. The ASEAN Consensus is said to bring regional cooperation to greater heights in building a people-centered, people-oriented community since the signing of the ASEAN Declaration on the Protection and Promotion of the Rights of Migrant Workers in 2007. In related news, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana said although no potential threat to disrupt the country's hosting of the 31st ASEAN Summit has been monitored, there is no room for complacency. In an interview, Lorenzana said this is the reason why 60,000 police and military personnel with equipment will be deployed in Metro Manila, Bulacan, and Pampanga to secure all the heads of states while they are here in the country. Air operations in Manila and nearby provinces will be restricted for all types of aircraft starting November 9 as part of maximum security preparations for the summit. Likewise, police forces in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon will be placed on the highest security alert status effective November 8 as part of the security preparations. No drone operations are set over Clark and Pampanga and Rizal Park in Manila on November 9 to November 17 for all types of drones within 40 nautical miles. Sangli Airport in Cavite, Plaridel Airport in Bulacan, and Subic International Airport in Olongapo will be closed to civilian aircraft operations on November 9 until November 15 between 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. On the other hand, a no-landing restriction will be implemented on runway 13 of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport on November 12 until November 15 from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Only departing flights will be allowed at this runway during this period. Malacanang had earlier declared special non-working holidays from November 13 to November 15 in Metro Manila, Bulacan, and Pampanga as part of the security measures for ASEAN. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte warned on Thursday that the rich will become richer and the poor will become poorer unless Asia-Pacific member economies help uplift those left behind by globalization. With globalization harming poor economies, the president has called on APEC member nations to adopt a seamless and comprehensive economic integration to ensure growth will benefit everyone. Duterte, addressing the APEC CEO Summit in Vietnam, has pushed for inclusive growth by urging rich nations to give greater market access to less developed countries and help small businesses participate in global trade. The president added that APEC must continue to advocate for stronger and deeper regional economic integration by facilitating the liberalization of trade and investment. The president also pointed out that less developed economies and small businesses do not need charity, but instead need greater market access and the opportunity to participate in growth and development. Duterte also said APEC needs the cooperation of the business community in addressing the pessimism and suspicion of those who do not feel the benefits of free trade and globalization. The suspect in the murder of Grab driver Gerardo Maquidato Jr. is also wanted for the death of a teenager 3 years ago in Parañaque. Suspect Nartulo Delemios was presented to the media yesterday following his arrest Tuesday night in Barangay Santo Niño in Pasay City. During the press conference, the burly Delemios admitted shooting Maquidato after the victim allegedly fought back. He said that he just wanted the money, but Maquidato's wife doesn't believe that her husband would fight back. The confrontation was witnessed by police officials led by PNP Chief Director General Ronald De La Rosa. Delemios was picked up after police received a phone call from the suspect's mother-in-law who arranged his surrender. On Monday, De Lemios was identified by his 23-year-old live-in partner Giselle Capati, whose phone was used to book a ride with Makidato. Immediately after the suspect's arrest was announced in the news Tuesday night, Gail Balbuena, the 58-year-old mother of a teenager allegedly killed by De Lemios, rushed to the Pasay Police headquarters. It turned out that De Lemios has a standing arrest for murder of Gino Balbuena, then 19, issued on February 3, 2015 by Parañaque RTC Branch 257. On October 10, 2014, De Lemios shot to death Balbuena following an altercation with him and a certain Jerick Lim during a basketball game. Former President Benigno Aquino III was formally charged with graft and usurpation before the Sandiganbayan Wednesday due to his involvement in the deaths of the 44 SAF troopers in Mamasapano, Maguindanao. Aquino was accused of violating Section 3A of RA 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, as well as Article 177 of the Revised Penal Code. Aquino, the fourth president to face criminal charges before the anti-graft court, was identified with Oplan Exodus, which was carried out on the eve of January 24, 2015. In the charge sheets filed by Assistant Special Prosecutor Reza Casilla Derayunan, Aquino was accused of criminally persuading Purisima to forego the PNP chain of command. On Aquino's orders, former PNP Director General Alan Purisima worked together with former Special Action Force Director Getulio Napeñas in implementing the arrest of wanted terrorists in Mamasapano. Instead of coordinating with then PNP officer in charge Leonardo Espina, President Aquino chose to give instructions to Purisima and receive reports and recommendations from him. The charge sheet said Aquino should have respected Purisima's preventive suspension and talked to Espina, who had the authority to oversee the preparation for and conduct Oplan Exodus. This is Aquino's first charge before the Sandiganbayan. Purisima and Napeñas, on the other hand, are already facing graft and usurpation charges before the Sandiganbayan 4th Division in relation to the same incident. Malaysian terrorist bomb maker Amin Bako alias Jihad has reportedly been designated by the ISIS as emir or military commander in its Southeast Asia Caliphate, replacing slain Abu Sayyaf kidnapped leader Isnilon Hapilon. PNP Chief Director General Ronald De La Rosa said this information was divulged by Indonesian Maute fighter Muhammad Syaputra, who was arrested in Marawi City last week while trying to escape from the main battle area. Hapilon was killed along with Omar Maute last month, marking the end of the Marawi siege, which started on May 23. De La Rosa said they are still determining the number of remaining stragglers in Marawi City, since a lot happened since Syaputra parted ways with what he said were about 40 remaining Maute fighters hiding in the ruins of the Islamic city. U.S. President Donald Trump broke through China's Great Firewall on Wednesday as he posted messages on Twitter during his visit to the country, which has banned the website. Trump posted an initial message to thank President Xi Jinping for his warm welcome, even though the social media platform is not supposed to be visible in the country. He then tweeted a warning against North Korea. Twitter is among a slew of Western websites, along with Facebook and Instagram, blocked by China's censors in the name of protecting national security. But Trump was expected to use sophisticated technology available to the U.S. president to circumvent the so-called Great Firewall, with U.S. officials saying they had brought gear to make it happen. The U.S. president tweeted an AFP photo of his visit to the Forbidden City, where Xi and his wife treated Trump and his First Lady Melania Trump to tea and watched an opera performance. Globe, through the Globe Future Makers program, aims to create a positive societal impact by enabling social innovations with technology to drive social development in the country. In partnership with Kickstart Ventures and Ashoka, Globe is set to build an ecosystem where social innovators can influence people to help and create a positive change. In its first year, a total of 135 applications and nominations were submitted across the country.
In a country like the Philippines, where there's a tremendous number of problems to be solved, it is something of a great opportunity to really affect a whole swath of the population in one go. Right? I do believe that technology does provide significant amounts of leverage very quickly and affect many people very quickly. And using Globe's distribution and reach, I think this just makes it, all the more better.
With the help of Kickstart Ventures and Ashoka, Globe was able to choose the top 5 social innovators who each received 200,000 pesos worth of Globe Solution services to better equip and guide their companies.
The challenge is, how do you find the social innovators across the 7,100 plus islands, doing their little thing in their little place under the sun? How do you connect them to a wider network of people that are doing the same thing that they can learn from? How do you connect them to corporations that have the mind to support this kind of work, that are willing to fund or to lend assistance, probably more important, to lend expertise?
Among the top 5, 2 were chosen to represent the country in the first Singtel Group Regional Future Makers to attend and pitch at the Asia-Pacific Impact Investment Summit in Sydney, Australia, slated this November. The 2 finalists are Virtualahan, who believes that all Filipinos, no matter their medical condition or disabilities, should have job opportunities.
Virtualahan is a social enterprise that trains, match, and employ people with medical, mental, and physical disabilities to work as remote employees for digital businesses around the world.
And the second finalist is I Volunteer Philippines, who provides a platform that connects people with NGOs all over the country to easily extend help to those in need.
So I Volunteer Philippines, our dream is very simple: for every Filipino to help in nation building. And we ask every Filipino to volunteer to our partner organizations such that they can make an impact. We want to inspire more Asians to also volunteer, right? This is working in Philippines. We see a lot of Filipinos wanting to help. I think we can replicate the model within the Asia context.
Both Virtualahan and I Volunteer will join other social innovators across the Asia-Pacific region and compete to win cash fundings for their startup company.
Partly because the Philippines tends to do well, and when we, as investors, when we look at the whole landscape of Philippines and the startups, particularly in the Philippine community, one of the strong threads is the sense of a social mission, the sense of an understanding of the big problems that we face in the Philippines, the fact that it's not a very equal world. And many of the startups are about overcoming the barriers that exist in society. And these problems that we experience in the Philippines are common, particularly in the emerging market. And we think that the teams that have won will have an ability to represent the Philippines well and maybe even win.
The Globe Future Makers program is an illustration that Filipinos are committed to achieving wide-scale positive societal impact and believe in the power of technology to change the world. So best of luck to the 2 Pinoy finalists. The beauty and elegance of Filipino beauty queens continue to shine as the Philippines captured 2 international pageant crowns, a first runner-up and a second runner-up finished during competitions held in Manila, Malaysia, Bolivia, and Albania last Saturday night. In Manila, Karen Ibasco was crowned Miss Earth 2017 during a televised pageant held at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. She edged out 85 other girls for the crown. Ibasco also works as a medical physicist at St. Luke's Hospital and is also a professor at the University of Santo Tomas in Manila, where she graduated with bachelor and master's degree in applied physics major in medical physics. Ibasco is the 4th Miss Earth winner from the Philippines in the 16-year history of the pageant. In Bolivia, actress Teresita Sen Winwin Marquez was crowned Reina Hispano-Americana 2017 in a beauty contest that celebrates the Hispanic heritage, culture, and language. Marquez is the first Philippine representative to join the pageant. Marquez defeated 26 candidates for the crown, usually won by the Latinas. This is also the first time that the Philippines competed in the pageant, which started back in 1991. Marquez is the daughter of actors turned politicians Alma Moreno and Joey Marquez and has appeared on several television series on GMA7. She is the half-sister of Mark Anthony Fernandez and Vandolph Quezon. During pre-pageant activities, Marquez received several special awards, making her one of the early favorites for the crown. In Malaysia, Sami Ann Legaspi won first runner-up in the Miss Lumiere International World 2017 Beauty Pageant. On November 3, Nelda Ibe also finished second in the Miss Globe 2017 contest held in Albania. Philippine representatives in the Miss International, Miss World, and Miss Universe are all scheduled to compete later this November. Former teen sensation Isabel Granada passed away last Saturday due to brain hemorrhage, 10 days after falling into a coma caused by the brain aneurysm at the Hamad General Hospital in Doha, Qatar. She was 41 years old. This was confirmed by Isabel's partner Arnel Cowley, who broke the sad news through a video on Facebook. Granada's cousin Joseph Rivera, who is based in Qatar, also broke the sad news in his Facebook post, and so did her former husband Jericho Genaski Aguas, who flew to Qatar a few days ago to be with her and her close friends and relatives. A full military honors was given upon the arrival of Granada's body in Manila last Thursday. She was recruited by the Philippine Air Force in 2001 through its direct enlistment program, wherein she played volleyball for the Air Force team. From being an airwoman, she was promoted to Airwoman Second Class. Granada spent a year as an active PAF enlisted personnel as part of the PAF women's volleyball team and opted to remain as a reservist later. Granada entered show business in the 80s, but it was in the 1990s when her star shone brightest. She appeared on many teen television shows, including That's Entertainment, along with movies, stage concerts, and recorded albums. BAS-PH or BAS Project is a revolutionary mobile application that helps users measure the speed of internet connection of smartphones, was launched last Thursday in Pasay City. BAS-PH, which means Bandwidth and Signal Statistics, is an accurate and credible independent internet measurement provider. Its mobile app provides internet users the ability to measure internet bandwidth and other statistics. For subscribers and customers, they can use a virtual map to help them see which telecommunications provider has the faster internet connection where they live or work. Telecommunications companies will benefit from the collected data since they can now make data-driven decisions as to expansion areas to target. They can also reallocate resources such as bandwidth and frequency to areas that need it most. Phone manufacturers can access information as regards to the performance of their phone units during actual usage and compare these with their competitors. This can result to more efficient and better performing phones in the future. The BAS-PH map can also help companies with businesses in the digital world to identify specific target areas with high internet activity and concentrate their digital product offerings there. Also, BAS-PH can help the government guard and protect the public against any possible fraud using BAS-PH's free supplemental third-party data. BAS-PH also called for a stronger cooperation and collaboration between the government and the telco companies, where they can join hands to achieve the ultimate goal, which is to improve the state of internet in the Philippines. The BAS-PH application is available in both Android and iOS smartphones for free. For more details about BAS-PH, you may visit their website at www.projectbas.org. And for this week's thought to ponder on, in a gentle way, we can shake the world. And that is by Mahatma Gandhi. And that's it for this week's edition of the MB Rundown. I'm Nicole Cordobes. Have a great weekend.